feel like your day just slips away and it's gone before you know it and you haven't accomplished all the things that you wanted to do? Well, welcome to Senior Insights. My name is Cynthia. Come on in, bring your cup in. We're just going to talk. I don't think this one will be too long because I already did it once and it was way too long and it was really boring. So I'm going to streamline this a little bit now that you're all here. We all have habits. Do you have habits? I can't talk about your habits because all I know are my habits. I know some of my friends' habits too, but I'm just going to talk about mine, which is extremely interesting. So don't hang up. Don't shut the TV off or your phone or whatever, because you never know. You might feel like you're just like me. Anyway, I get up in the morning, then I go. No, before I even leave my bedroom, I make my bed. So that is one habit that I consider very, very good. I make my bed because it makes me feel in control. It makes me feel like I've already accomplished something. It also makes my bedroom like the haven that a bedroom is supposed to be. And it's something that's really simple to do. And I like doing that because it starts off under control. And then, of course, I go in the bathroom and do my toiletries and stuff, and everybody has different routines. When I was thinking about this, I have definitely specific habits. I think Evie had a video one day last week where she talked about, are you a two-sock person or are you a sock and shoe person and a sock and shoe person? We all do things differently. Do you roll your toilet paper? Do you have it hanging forward or do you have it back? No, that's the age-old thing. But I thought the sock thing was really cute, so I started paying attention how I put my socks on. And yes, I have a routine on how I get dressed. I have a routine on how I get dressed. Do you? I bet you do. Do you put your clothes out the day before? Well, what I do is I hang them on the foot of my bed. I have a footboard, and I put my clothes there. You know, I usually wear my jeans for several days, and sometimes I wear my shirt for 2 days. Not any longer than that. So maybe I have it, or maybe I have taken out another shirt, and I put my socks there and anything else that I need. And so it's all set in the morning. So after I do my toiletries, I come in and I get dressed and I put my shoes on. I forgot to tell you that I have my breakfast and my coffee and all that. At night, I set up the coffee every night. So that's a habit, that's a routine, part of my routine. Once you figure out that you have a routine, think about all the things that you do before 10 o'clock in the morning. Those are habits and they're your routine. That's why I go crazy when I have to go out of the house. It throws me all off. And then when you get out of the house, you're spending money. You're going here, you're going there. The car doesn't work. You know the drill. I tell you every single time. But anyway, so you have to have routines. You have to have habits. Not all of our habits are good. So I kind of analyzed my day and my structure, and I don't have too many bad habits. Before you quit, before you hang up because you're thinking this is boring, the one habit that I want to talk about the most is coffee here every morning. That is a habit that I have. And I would like to encourage all of you, especially those people that are new, to put it on your schedule. Because, believe it or not, people actually get a boost to their day. And I'm not bragging about it. I don't know. I'm just telling you, read the comments. Some people really look forward to this. You could too. It could change your whole attitude about the day. So make sure you come. Come for coffee. You can do it in the evening too. We're always here. Whenever you want, you can come. So that's one thing. But I don't do anything on YouTube until afternoon. And that's because I do believe that you have to have some kind of priorities. So I do my prayers and I watch Mass. I have my breakfast, which is a terrible breakfast. I mean, it's delicious. I think it's delicious, but it's not nutritious. So that's one bad habit that I have, is what I eat for breakfast. And then you might say, the next bad habit is what I eat for lunch. And then you might say what I have for dinner. And then what I take to bed. What I take to bed with me every single night. So those are all bad habits, and we're going to have to tackle proper nutrition. There's a part of me that says, hey, we've made it this far. We enjoy those bad habits. Why should we change? Does anybody else ever feel that way? But this is a YouTube channel, and I'm supposed to be encouraging you and telling you all these good things that you could do. There's a part of me that says, do what you want. You worked your whole life. Have whatever habit you want, good, bad, or indifferent. But probably should work on the bad habits. So I have certain times that I'll have a break. I'll have a coffee break, mid-morning. I can only work like 5 minutes at a time. That's what I tell myself. I'm full of malarkey there. But the reality is we are retired. We are elderly. We can do whatever we want. So if we want to work for 5 minutes and then go sit down and catch our breath and then work for 5 more minutes, there's nothing wrong with that. That can be part of your routine, part of your daily habit. Somebody said that they set a timer and they worked for 30 minutes. I just read this on the comments yesterday. I think 30 minutes. I don't think I could do 30 minutes, but I could do 10, or I could do 5, even 1 minute. You know what I've tried to do lately is when the coffee is brewing, the toast is toasting, I try to clean up the kitchen counter, because I don't do that before I go to bed. That's another bad habit. So I have stuff all over the kitchen counter, so I start cleaning it up. Do you know it takes like 1 minute to clear off the counter? Well, why didn't I do that before? But so I steal that amount of time when I'm waiting for something else, my coffee and my toast. I try and accomplish something. Sometimes the dishwasher is full and it's right by the coffee pot. And so I just, maybe I just empty one rack, but I do that. And I always feel good about that, because I can't stand emptying the dishwasher, even though my dishwasher is in the most convenient spot. And it's close to everything. You just have to bend, reach, and everything is within arm distance, because that kitchen is a galley kitchen, and the dishwasher is on one side, and then the cabinets are on the other. But anyway, you don't need to know all that stuff. But I'm saying try and incorporate some good habits in little spots of time. I told you I always take a coffee break, and I have a cup of coffee. Sometimes I will have a muffin. I buy muffins from like BJ's, and I quarter them. So I'll have a quarter of a muffin. And sometimes I make those double chocolate chip muffins. Those are really good. Look them up on this channel someplace. And so I usually have something. And then I will either read or get back to cleaning, because I only allow myself till noontime to do all the business of work of my house. And then I start planning what I'm going to do for coffee break and what I'm going to talk about. And I don't plan too much, as you can tell. I try to, because I watch these channels and they have these wonderful presentations, and they're all step by step by step by step. It's just not me, and it doesn't flow naturally. That's why I try. Sometimes you'll catch me looking down, but it's only because I have maybe like some hints at what I could talk about. I try not to do a script, so it's like all off my head. That's why sometimes I repeat myself. That's why. Anyway, why am I talking about that? See? So then I answer my comments in the morning. That's part of before 12 because I don't get onto YouTube to do anything until the afternoon. Always have a break at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Always, always, always. That's usually when I have my cup of tea. And I will have something like a quarter of a muffin, or I might have a handful of chips. I've noticed I used to be able to eat a whole bag of chips. I would. Family size, party size, yeah. At least in a couple of days, sometimes I exaggerate. But I don't eat that many anymore. I don't know what happened. It's not because I had this revelation that they're not good for you. I mean, I know they're not good for you. But anyway, so I will have something and then I'll start to read. And sometimes I'll take breaks. I'll take breaks from YouTube, go sit down, read. Once I get involved in reading, I get totally engrossed in that. I love to read. And I told you, I read a book a day, practically. I shouldn't say a book a day, maybe one book every day and a half. Sometimes every day. I read one today, as a matter of fact. And then one of my other habits is when I go to bed, I bring my candy. That is a bad habit. That is something that I don't want to do, and I have a plan to get rid of that habit. I have a certain amount of candy, and when that is gone, I am not going to purchase any more candy. That doesn't mean that I'm never going to have candy again, but it means I am going to eliminate that candy at night. And I eat a significant amount, like 6 of those mini Hershey bars. I never go beyond 8. I'm telling you all my secrets. But so that's going to be hard for me. And we're our own worst critics. We're hard on ourselves. Don't be hard on yourself. You know what? You've made it this far. You can't be that bad. No. No. There's a part of me that says, what's the harm? What's the harm? Well, it's not good for your teeth. Because I do that after I brush my teeth at night. And so it's not really good for you. I do swish. I bring water in my red cup to bed, but I'm sure that does not take care of the sugar. But anyway, if I can get rid of it at bedtime, hi Stanley, if I can get rid of the candy at bedtime, then that's a significant change in my habits. That's a significant good change. And then I think I'm going to try and work on what time I get up in the morning. But when I was doing research for this video, my research consists of flipping through channels. And, all the gurus say, put a number in there, tell them 3 steps to the best habits you can ever have. I can't do that. I just say what's on my mind. And I think 3 steps is too much. That's why I can't get to that decluttering video, because I said I was going to do 3 or 4 cabinets. It's too much. 1, you can only eat an elephant 1 bite at a time. So I forgot where I was, what I was talking about. Oh, my second habit I'm going to start after I accomplish that first one. And I think I already said, too, that there's a part of me that says, why would you have to change? Why should you change? We're old. Why can't we have the things that we want? So that's another thing that I kind of struggle with, I had this patient one time, and she was a diabetic. She was 93 years old. The doctor used to make her go to the diabetic nutritionist. She had to find a car, transportation. She used her walker. She's 90-something years old. she goes and the nutritionist says, well, what are you eating for breakfast? She says, I have oatmeal every day and I put a tablespoon of craisins in my oatmeal. Oh, you should not be using craisins. Well, that woman told me that, and I said, honey, I think you should have a whole half box of craisins. I mean, really, one little pleasure, and she can't have she doesn't want her to have craisins. Come on. And I said, I think you should call the doctor and say you're not going anymore. That is a no-no. But I tend to do those kinds of things, you know. I'm an authority on everything. What can I say? So I have my habits, I have my good habits, and I have my bad habits. I'm trying to think, as I said, my good habits, I'm trying to think what those good habits are. Well, I said making the bed. And I think a good habit is just having a habit. And a good habit is reading. A good habit is coming to coffee. I'm going to say it again. Many people, you look in the comments, look forward to coffee every morning or evening, whenever. It makes their day. So make this part of your routine. So I think that you need to look at what your habits are, appreciate the good habits, think about changing the bad habits, or don't change them, because you can do whatever you want. And this channel is not telling you what to do. I don't want to tell you what to do. You're big girls and boys. You put on your big boy panties and your big girl panties and figure it out yourself. How is that for profound? I'm going to read you one little tidbit from the coffee thing. Did you know the story about the northern and the southern lights? I didn't even know there was southern lights. I just learned something right then and there. They glow when solar particles crash into Earth's atmosphere, stirring up oxygen and nitrogen. These charged collisions create waves of green, red, and purple light, turning the sky into a silent show. Isn't that cool? I've actually never seen the northern lights or the southern lights. Well, I didn't know there was southern lights. But I've seen pictures, and they are incredibly awe-inspiring. Imagine the creation of those. Well, I could get into that a little bit more, but why don't you join me for coffee tomorrow? Think about your habits, and I will see you, today is Tuesday, I will see you on Wednesday. I'm also thinking I'm going to do a live on Thanksgiving Day at 8 o'clock in the evening. So make a note of that if you're still watching. Bye.